Hello, everyone, and welcome to Breakfast with the Greenes. I'm James Greene, and this is my lovely wife, Cynthia Greene, and we are the co-founders of Marriage Built to Last.
And we are
America's favorite couple. So we're coming to you this morning, and we're going to talk about something that we've been listening to a lot of couples talk about, and that's trust. So we ask you to share this out because we know a lot of couples are going through trust issues. So we always ask you to share this out. There's some people that could be dealing with some trust issues that they maybe need to just talk about. So all you have to do is share this out. All right? Sounds good? Good.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Y'all know I'm the energetic one, right? I like to
I'm not energetic.
I mean, he's energetic, but y'all know I'm the peppy one. Let me put it that way then. You know, I like to have fun. I like to talk about the fun stuff. So y'all know in the description, I showed y'all a picture that James was cooking breakfast. So I said, guess what he's cooking today? So I want you guys to post in the comments what y'all think James cooked for breakfast today. It's going to be interesting.
It's a Philly
Something
special.
Different. No, don't be giving no hints. Don't be giving any hints. No. So just tell us what you think he cooked, all right? And so we have kind of changed our topic up today. You know, this month has been Resurrect Your Romance Month. And we've been talking a lot of about a lot of different things you can do.
I was going to say, even though it's Resurrect Your Romance Month, talking about trust can resurrect your actual romance.
Oh, it can, absolutely.
Okay.
Communicating well, period, resurrect your romance. But it's been Resurrect Your Romance Month, and we've been giving you a lot of great tips on things you can do to, get the romance back or increase your romance or change your romance up. I mean, we've just given you all kinds of different tips and ideas and things that you can do. So today, though, we're switching it up a little bit. James likes to watch this show, and he didn't want me to say that, but I'm saying it anyway because that's the only reason why we're talking about trust today. So he likes to watch this show called what?
It's on Saturday mornings.
Cheaters. He likes that show. I think that show is absolutely silly. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. The people on there are crazy. The way the stories roll out are crazy. But
it's entertainment.
When I look at Cheaters, though, sometimes, they'll show pictures at the end or they'll talk about what happened after the show went off. And sometimes you'll see the couples hug and kiss and cry and ask for forgiveness and say, I love you. And then other times you see the couples cussing each other out, like they going off. You see women fighting each other, men fighting each other, the woman and man fighting each other, the woman beating all on the man. I mean, you just see some crazy stuff, right? But reality is there are cheaters out there. There is infidelity, and there are trust issues in the relationships. And the trust we're talking about today is just not about infidelity. It could be trust around you being a liar, you being, being sneaky, doing things you shouldn't be. You could have done something in the past that made your spouse not trust you. It could be around finances. It could be around anything. And so we're going to, when we talk about trust, we're going to talk about, in all of those areas, but mainly
But when you think in the beginning of a relationship, there's trust. You automatically give that person the benefit of the doubt. You trust that person unless you may have been hurt before. If you've been hurt before, then a new relationship, you may have to build that trust up. But a lot of times you don't have nothing to doubt in the very beginning. So you automatically may trust that person until they give you reason to doubt. Then maybe the trust may go down. But when we talk about trust being earned, is it earned? And how do you earn that trust?
Well, one thing we do know is that trust is very, very important in a relationship. And James and I were talking, we were like, okay, is trust earned or is it giving? So when you start out in a relationship, you kind of automatically trust the person.
Right.
You automatically give that person the benefit of the doubt that you trust them until something happens that makes it. So some of the things, like I just mentioned, was like, it could be you see a pattern of them saying they're going to do something and then they break their promise or they break their word or they go back.
But a lot of times when you think of, because, we talk to couples and they talk about Facebook. You liking things on Facebook. You just hitting a like button. So is that a reason not to trust a person since they're just hitting a like on Facebook?
Well, you're talking about a specific instance, right?
Okay.
So that's
well, we just talk about overall trust, say social media.
Okay.
Social media, sometimes if you do certain things on social media, that gives you a reason not to trust a person. But is it really, can it really ruin a relationship just because maybe you may be doing something on social media? Is that cheating? Is social media cheating?
And sometimes it can be. So I feel like if you got a spouse or a boyfriend that's going on Facebook and they're making inappropriate comments to a woman, and then you have to say, what's an inappropriate comment?
Right.
What's inappropriate? Some people might not be inappropriate
to others.
But if you be like, baby, you look sexy, you're calling her baby, or you using the word sexy, or you so fine, I think that's inappropriate. I mean, but if you're just liking a picture,
and I was gonna say, if you're just liking a picture, for example, and we're taking these as examples, so it's different between men and women. Let's be honest. You could like a woman's picture on Facebook, and your woman or your wife or girlfriend, whatever the case may get mad. Why are you liking her picture? And they may think that is a reason not to trust you. And all you're doing is clicking the like button.
Well, let's put it this way. If she got on some sexy clothes, a bathing suit, she got all her boobs hanging out and or her bottom hanging out, then yes, I would think it's inappropriate, and I totally trust my husband. Or if he's liking pictures about the same woman all the time, like, why are you always on her page? Why are you always liking her stuff? What's up with that? You know, I personally, I think that we all need to have boundaries and guardrails around social media, how we comment, when we comment, who we're commenting on, and it needs to be a discussion between you and your spouse.
Just like, for example, if you're out somewhere and your man or your woman, they look at someone of success as they pass by.
Oh, Lord.
And you're not looking at maybe, and the thing is, you can say, I just noticed what he or she had on. Like, okay, they shouldn't be wearing that out. It's not like you're looking at them, like ogling them, so to speak.
Okay, so now I'm getting ready to share something I don't think I ever shared with James. When we were first dating and married, if we were out and I saw a good-looking woman walk by, I would look out the corner of my eye to see if James was going to follow her and look at her.
See? So right there, is that saying you didn't trust me?
No, I want to see if I could trust you. And I can honestly say...
Okay, but if I look, does that mean you don't trust me? Even though I'm not after that person.
I want to see how you're looking, how long you're looking, and if it happens all the time. Now, there have been times we've been on vacation, I'd be like, wow, she is beautiful. Or, ooh.
And I didn't even notice. And now she's giving me a reason to look. Hold on. He's like, wow, she looks beautiful. Where? Let me see. See?
But I have no problem with him looking at a beautiful woman. If she's beautiful, she's beautiful. But my thing is, if a woman's walking by and you following her the whole way she's going, what you looking at? What you interested in? But if you're a good-looking woman walk by and you look, and then look back, that's fine.
So men, let me talk to the men. Men, a lot of times out there, you doing those things will make your woman lose a little bit of trust in you. If you're ogling after a woman, if you're liking inappropriate things on Facebook, you may lose that trust of your mate, of your spouse. So now it's about, how do you make sure that you don't lose that trust or build that trust back up once it may have been lost?
I want to keep talking about some scenarios.
Okay, go ahead.
So, and these are scenarios that we've talked with couples about that have gone through. You know, there's been instances where a woman thought that her husband had a foot fetish. Well, she said he had a foot fetish. So his thing was going on social media, looking at women's feet, making comments, asking for women to show pictures of their feet. I thought that was inappropriate. I mean, if you know he's got a foot fetish, then that will make you lose trust. And then another time, a woman was saying that every time they're out in the store, you know, he's always speaking to women, smiling at women, talking to women.
I don't think that's a reason to lose trust.
Well, it depends. If he's been a womanizer in the past, or if he's had an affair in the past, or you have confronted him about it and you knew he liked somebody. Yeah, I mean, it could be some people are over.
How about if it's a coworker and you're going to lunch with that person of the opposite sex?
Oh, Lord. Okay, that's a whole nother story. Okay, it depends. Now, I don't think a man should just automatically just go to lunch with another woman on the job. And maybe if they're discussing business or they happen to be in the lunchroom at the same time or whatever. But at the same time, my husband used to have some female friends on the job, 3 in particular, I can name their names, and they all used to go out to lunch all
Together.
the time.
It was a group of us.
Sometimes it was all 4 of them. Sometimes he might have been with 1 or 2 of them. Sometimes he went to lunch with just 1 of them. But see, I knew about, and then there was another couple of guys that would go with them too. I knew that there was a group of them that hung together at work.
And here's the key. So I didn't lose that trust. She met them. I would call her up with them there.
Asking me questions or telling me things.
Or letting her know that we're going to lunch together. Is that okay?
So the difference is James talked about me to them. They knew who I was. I remember one time something happened at work. They called me on the phone and said, Cynthia, you and guess what your husband did? You need to talk to your husband. Like they knew me but didn't know me because he talked about me all the time. So that's a little bit different. But honestly, I don't think men and women on the job should just be going out to lunch unless it's okay with their spouse. Your spouse should know. Because guess what?
It's my work wife. No, I'm joking.
Oh, Lord. Because if you're going to lunch with some woman all the time, trust me, at some point in time, somebody on that job might tell
and
you.
the key is that if
and
you're going, if you're out,
innocent, but if you never told your wife and then
somebody's seen you out with that person and then called her and said, I seen your husband out with this woman at lunch, having lunch together, and it was inappropriate.
And she never told you about her, then it could come across as inappropriate and it could help her to lose some trust. And then also another way that people lose trust is just not being there for their partner when the partner needs them. If every time I ask you for something, I ask for help or ask you to do something and you never ever do it, you start losing trust. It hurts your heart. It starts chipping away a little bit at a time on the trust factor. And then other times it's like, okay, I want to say lying, but not lying. So some people think that if they don't tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth, they're not lying. I was going to say,
not lying, but leaving out certain aspects of the conversation. A lot of times, you're not lying, but you left parts of it out, which when they find out later, gives them a reason not to trust you. Because trust me, you have to build trust. Trust is earned. You may give it to that person in the very beginning, but as time goes on, you have to keep earning it. Something that has to constantly be earned is trust, especially after it's lost. Once it's lost, you always have to earn it back more and more and more all the time to build that back up, to get to where the place that you want to be, say when you first got together and it was automatically given to you.
That's right. So withholding information, but also totally lying. When somebody catches you in a lie, they're going to always think you're lying. If you tell somebody a lie, they're going to think you are a liar, especially if they caught you more than once. And another thing related to the lying is like manipulation. If you're always saying things to me to try to get me to do what you want or think the way you want me to think, I know you're trying to manipulate me, manipulate my mind or my time or the way I say something or do something. But that's a way that you can lose so much trust.
You can say that I'm going out with a group of my friends, and your spouse may not know that those friends are lady friends.
Men and women
together, but all of them are single, and you're married, and you're saying, I'm going out with a group of my friends. And the wife may automatically think, okay, it's your male friends. And it's not. You just didn't leave that part out, who was going to be there.
That's right. And then another way you can lose trust is when your mate just doesn't really be open and honest with you. Like they don't share their feelings. You don't never really know what they're thinking. And so then you start to assume that they're thinking a certain way or feel a certain way, and you start losing trust. We've seen this a lot in relationships where, especially the men, I'm not picking on the men, but a lot of times the men just cannot express how they really feel or what they really think about something, because let's be honest, women talk 15,000 words a day and men about 7. So when they do try to have a conversation with us, we're talking so much and saying so much, they feel like they can't get it out, they can't say it. But you can. If you really want to be honest and share your feelings with your spouse, then you say, hold up, wait a minute. I need to share. You need to give me a chance to talk. Like we got a lot of techniques we teach couples on how to have those open and honest conversations, but you can do it.
Right. So I would say post in the feed if you know maybe some other situations where you may lose trust. Because we're getting ready to talk about how to maybe try to build that back up. But it seems easier to lose trust than it is to build it back up. Because trust is, like we said in the beginning, it's maybe automatically given when you're first in a relationship. So That's easy. But once you start losing it, trust me, it is so hard to build it back up, to get that person to trust you totally again, because it's always going to be in the back of their mind like, well, you did it before and you may do it again, so I can't trust you, or now you're not being open and honest. And that is a good segue to one way to build that trust back up, being open and honest. You know, you have to be open in everything you say, everything you do, so they'll know, to try to build that trust back up.
And one thing I want to do is really make sure that we share what trust is. And trust is a choice.
That's right.
Trust is how you choose to communicate with someone, how you choose to relay your thoughts, how you choose to do things, how you choose to relate with them.
Right.
That is what trust is. Trust is giving someone, allowing someone to think or know that they can trust you with their heart. They can trust you with their money. They can trust you with how you might handle things. Like, trust is a choice on how you're going to do or say something.
Because you think in relationships, if the trust is not there, then it's hard to move forward in the relationship when you don't totally have trust in that person. You can't, for example, even when you say, I trust that you have my back, whatever having my back looks like to you. But if you don't trust that the person has your back, how can you grow and move forward with that person if you don't trust that they have your back? If you don't trust, even when you talk about supporting your spouse, that's trust. I trust that you support me. I trust that you make the right decision. Because a lot of times, like we always say, the head of women is man, the head of man is Jesus, so to speak. So if your woman or your wife trusts that you'll make the right decision for your marriage, you'll make the right decisions for your family. So when you make those wrong decisions, you may lose that trust in your wife, that she doesn't trust that you'll make the right decisions for your family, for your marriage.
That's right. And you know, when I think about this trust thing, I really think about people who are dating. If you're dating someone and they never stand on their word about when they might call you, if you're supposed to go out on a date or see each other, and then they just are no show with no respect, no phone call to say something came up, a job came up, you know, are they always ghosting? Or you know, you can't ever go to their house,
and I was gonna say,
you always feel like they're hiding something.
Right.
There's a trust issue there. I'm telling y'all, if the trust issue is there before you get married, trust me that the trust ain't gonna change after
and
you
I was
get
thinking,
married.
baby, when you talk about those signs, what are the signs? What are the signs of not trust of you know, not trusting a person? For example, if you're dating and you've never been to that person's house, do you totally trust them? Or you never met their friends or family? Do you totally trust that person? You may have given them the benefit of the doubt when you first got together, but now you're trying to move forward in a relationship. You're not dating just to be kicking it. You're dating to go somewhere. But how can you go somewhere when you've never met their friends, their family, never been over their house, you know, that sort of thing? Is the trust really there then?
And then another thing too, if you are talking to somebody and all they ever talk about either themselves, or they talk about their job, or they just talk about TV, or they just talk about sex, but they never want to have a deep conversation with you, so that, you know, like, so you can just share your feelings, or you share your needs, what you want in the relationship, what you want in life. You never talk about the future. You never talk about your goals. Can you really trust that person?
And that's what I said.
I mean, the relationship is shallow.
And that's what I said, when you talk about building trust.
Unless you're just looking for a shallow relationship.
And when you talk about building trust, that's the part of being open. You know, we talk about being clear and direct.
Yep.
You
The
know,
7
being
principles
open.
of communication is what he's talking about.
Being clear and direct, being open and honest. You know, that's the way you build that trust. That's the way you have to build that trust back up. And, you know, and when we talk about trust, say, for example, you know, we talked about the social media. Maybe you need to let them answer your phone. Give them your phone. Give them the password to your phone. Give them a password to all your social media accounts, if that's what it takes to build that trust back up.
Right. And then also, if you feel like you can't share certain things with your mate, like you feel like you got to hide things, like you got to hide bills, you got to hide how much money you have, you got to hide where you're going, you got to hide the clothes that you purchased, you got to hide that you got children, you got to hide that you got
wait, clothes that you purchased. So you're spending money that he or she doesn't know about, and you're putting the clothes somewhere in the house,
Yeah,
hiding
you're hiding
them.
the clothes in the trunk of the car, in the back of the closet, whatever it may be. If you got to hide things from your mate, those are signs that you don't trust them, or
right.
that they can't trust you.
Exactly.
That they can't trust you. So we want to know, if you're in a relationship and your mate is doing some of these things, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? And then the other thing, when we was talking about, if you can't share your feelings, your wants, your needs, like if you can't be vulnerable with your spouse, like if you're, you really want to share your heart, you're feeling sad or down or lonely or just excited about something, you can't be vulnerable with them, then that is a sign too that you don't trust them.
Right. And that's the thing, when you talk about a relationship, being vulnerable, and being vulnerable means you're being transparent. And we always like to talk about being transparent. And how do you be transparent when you're not vulnerable with that person? So now that lack of trust is there. And you put that there because you're not being open, you're not being vulnerable, you're not being transparent. See, a lot of times people say, well, I tell them everything, I let them know everything. But if you're not being transparent, you're putting that trust, that not trusting that person, you're putting it in there because you're giving them a reason not to trust you. And
getting to that transparent thing, y'all, honestly, you don't have to tell your mate every single itty bitty little thing. Some things you just need to keep to yourself. And I'm sorry, my husband, he is one of them direct people, them honest people, straightforward. He will tell you anything, say anything he feels like saying. And sometimes it's just not very nice, or it doesn't come out right. So some thoughts you do need to just keep to yourself. You don't have to share everything.
We're asked, do you feel that way? Do you feel you should share everything, or you don't have to share every little bitty thing?
Well, I do. Like I feel like we can share anything because I know how he is. I know if it's on his mind, he's thinking it, it's going to come out of his mouth. So I can either take it offensively, I can just throw it out the window and not pay any attention. I can address it. I can ponder over it.
Well, let's go there. A lot of times, couples may say something, a spouse may say something, and since you're not sharing every little thing, they may think you're hiding something.
That's true.
And if they feel you're hiding something, then that lack of trust is going to be there.
It is.
Because the first thing you say, and it's funny that a lot of couples, the first thing you say is, oh, you don't trust me? I'm not doing anything. You don't trust me? But are you giving them a reason not to trust you? Because you're not divulging every little thing.
Every little thing like what?
I don't know.
How do they know you're not divulging every little thing? Okay, so we can give you an example. So, just a couple was planning to move, and so she got a job somewhere else. So he's supposed to get a job
in the same state also
where they're moving to.
Right.
And she finds out that he applied for a job where they live.
Used to live.
Where they used to live, right. And so his mindset is that if I talked to them before I got applied for the job, and they said if I get the job, I can transfer to the new state where we're living after 90 days.
But so she assumed
she's upset because our battery's about to die.
She assumed
we're gonna have to move through this faster because we almost
but she assumed that he was going to get a job in the new state where they're supposed to be moving to.
And his mindset is that in 90 days I'm going to transfer, but we know that's no guarantee.
Right. So
she feels like he didn't tell her the whole story. So he lied to her.
So would that be a reason for lack of trust?
I think so. I think everything should have been divulged. But he felt like he didn't even know if he's going to get the job. He didn't know if he's going to get the interview. But he didn't keep her updated on every little step.
And that is the key. Keeping your spouse updated, keeping that lines of communication open so questions can be asked about everything. So there's no lack of trust.
So how do you rebuild trust? Because we're going to have to make this quick. It's communicate.
That's
Communicate.
Right.
You got to talk. You got to talk about everything.
Divulge everything.
Yes, you got to share.
Because when you start hiding things, then that lack of trust creeps in.
You got to practice forgiveness.
Yep.
You got to know how to say I'm sorry, and you got to know how to accept I'm sorry.
Forgiveness is a key because forgiveness allows you to rebuild that trust, saying I should have communicated better. I should have kept you more informed.
Right. And this is a good one. You can't dwell on the past, especially when there's infidelity or they did something wrong in the past. You can't keep throwing it, using it against them and throwing them at them every time.
Like I always say, is that you can forgive the person, but you won't forget.
Right.
In order to move forward, that's when you have to forgive that person.
Right.
But if you forgive them, you can't keep throwing it up in their face day after day after day. That will not allow you to move forward.
Right. So those are the three things we would say: communicate, don't dwell on the past, and practice forgiveness. Those are the three things that's really going to help you to rebuild trust and continue with trust. You guys, like we said, this is Resurrect Your Romance Month. And if you're following us, you will know that next month is our 14-year anniversary. And so because of that, we're going to be doing a lot of special things for couples because we want to see you have an amazing relationship. And James and I, we are givers, so we love to do things that's going to really help a couple. So right now we have we have our big annual event that we didn't get to have last year because of COVID, but we are having it this year, September 17th to 18th. It's called Couples Fest. It's our 5th annual, and we really want you to be there, y'all. We really have some fun and interesting things going on this year. I'm talking contests. I'm not going to tell you what kind of, well, I'll tell you, we're having like a hula hoop contest. We're having the couple twinsy dress alike contest. We're having a lip sync contest. And then we got a lot of great speakers. We're going to have people there to talk to you about wills and estate. It's just a plethora of things that we feel like fun things couples can do and things that couples would like to have information on, but they would maybe not ever go to an attorney to find out about how to plan their estate. But anyway, we're giving you a 50% off special right now. It's really more than a 50% special, but you guys get your tickets right now because you can get for the price of 2 for the price of 1 actually right now. So go ahead and go get your ticket now because that special is only this weekend. It comes down on Monday. Our assistant has been posting the specials on Facebook. I'm telling you guys, it's going to help you to have fun with your mate. It's going to help you to reconnect with your mate. It's going to help you build romance with your mate. It's going to help you learn some new things with your mate. It's just going to help you get out the house. Aren't y'all tired of being in the house during COVID?
Right.
Trust me, we're going to have to follow COVID guidelines, get COVID safety guidelines, but we want you to come out and have some fun. We're going to be doing some of the things that we did when we first launched Marriage Built to Last back in 2014. We've been in business for 7 years now, y'all. And so we're going to do some of the things that we did when we on our first launch party. And I was talking to a friend who was there. And she's like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. She said, when is this? And she said, I got to talk to my husband. We got to be there because they had so much fun. But there's going to be good information there too that you can get that's going to help you in your life, help you in your future, help you with your home, with your kids, with your family, with your marriage. And so just go to couplesfestexpo.com and let me put that up on the screen while I'm thinking about it. Oh my goodness, let me find it. But we want you to be there, y'all. We want to meet you. We want to oh my goodness.
Right. And when we talk about Couples Fest, we talk about breakfast with the Greens. So that's Saturday morning. You'll be in the house with us, having breakfast in the Greens with us. And that's going to be a key because when we talk about trust issues, when we talk about infidelity, when we talk about communication, when we talk about sex and intimacy, we're going to be doing it live, breakfast with the Greens, and you'll be in the house with us. And we'll be going around having a conversation, so to speak. And it'll be like a panel, so you'll get to answer the questions and how you feel about that certain subject.
There's so much going on at Couples Fest.
Right, we're going to have so much fun.
Dancing,
and we talk about
music.
Working on your marriage, and having fun is a byproduct of that work. So come on out, work on your marriage, and have fun while you're doing it.
And you guys, we're going to be playing some games, but the key thing is that these games are interactive games, which are still like relation building activities. So even though you're having fun, you're interacting with your spouse, it's going to be helping you to build certain skills in your relationship. So everything we do is intentional. Everything we do is intentional. Everything we do is biblical based. We're not going to be preaching, but everything is biblical based. So it's a safe environment. It's a fun environment. And it's an environment where you can learn. So we really want you to come out. Go to couplesfestexpo.com. Even though on the screen, you can go to our website, marriagebuilttolast.com, and click on the events link, and you can learn all about Couples Fest there also. But yeah, so we got a 50% off special. You don't want to miss it. It's going a limited seats, limited space because we're following COVID guidelines, so we can't have as many people as we used to. But you guys, it's going to be fun. We can't wait to see you there. If you're having some trust issues, reach out to us. We do individual and group coaching. Trust and infidelity is something that we're going to kind of focus on, not in September, because that's our anniversary month.
And we give a free 30-minute consultation.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So if you want to just talk about it for 30 minutes, we're there for you.
Yeah. So we're going to be looking to see who guessed what James cooked for breakfast correctly. And we may just send you a little gift. All right. So post, comment.
All right.
And you guys will see you next Saturday. And remember,
if you build it, it
will last. God bless you guys.
And we'll see you next time.